when Senator Allen made his comments last week, obviously you know the things that hit the paper. And when people have asked me about that, the only thing that I've said is that he knew what he was saying. He knew what the words were. He used them twice, and that people just ought to ask him why he used them, what he thought they meant. I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, I was busy putting together a foreign policy speech that I gave the day before I came down here. I think it's a very important foreign policy speech. I'll talk about it in a minute. And I haven't even followed a lot of media on this. But I did see the tape because I had to authorize my campaign to release the tape before they did. And the thing that I found kind of astounding, and Phil mentioned it, and he starts off by saying, he's talking to people in the back and he's going, yeah, my opponent never leaves the Beltway. He's out with some movie moguls, and I doubt he'll ever come down here. And it shows you, George Allen knows that's not true. His campaign knows it's not true. And it shows you the sort of divisiveness and deliberate inaccuracies that they're putting in a lot of areas of this campaign. The guy who's running his campaign, Dick Wadhams, worked for Karl Rove for 3 years. And you know how these campaigns go. You know what the Karl Rove era is all about. It's about misrepresenting people. It's about trying to assassinate people's character rather than getting into the issues and those sorts of things. And all Senator Allen had to do is pick up the book that I wrote 2 years ago, came out 2 years ago, called Born Fighting, where a lot of our campaign slogan came from. It came from this book that I wrote, which is about the Scotch-Irish culture, who settled these mountains. I went all the way back to Hadrian's Wall 2,000 years ago up to today to show the impact of this culture on American democracy. And in terms of my affiliation with the Democratic Party, I have to tell you, writing that book, it's a nonfiction book, writing that book was what really sorted out party affiliation for me. I've never been a career political person, but when I wrote the chapter in there on Andrew Jackson, who was the creator of his administration, were the creators of populist-style American democracy, it sorted out for me the differences in the two parties, the traditional differences in the two parties. Because Andrew Jackson, Jacksonian democracy, which became the core of the Democratic Party, was that you measure the health of a society not by how people are doing at the top, but by how the average working person is doing. That's been the core beliefs of the Democratic Party. George Allen knows about this book. Tom Wolfe made a speech at the Aspen Institute out in Colorado when the book came out. He said it was the most important ethnography in recent American history because it illuminated this culture in a way that a lot of Americans have forgotten about. So for George Allen to say that I have no connection with this part of Virginia, where my dad's family came out of, where I've been coming down here for, well, let's just say pretty near 30 years, where I've kept friends and kin people, is deliberate. It's a deliberate attempt to make people in this region believe that I'm just sitting up there inside the Beltway and going out to Hollywood and doing those sorts of things. And by the way, George Allen's raised a lot more money in California than I have. And George Allen was born in California. So